UFC 320, Magomedov Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira is this weekend, October 4th, at the T-Mobile Arena, and I'm going to go over the whole entire card from the start to the finish. Okay. So, to start the fight, start the night, we have Veronica Hardy versus Brogdon Walker. Both of these ladies have been inactive for a long time. Walker not fighting since 2023. They're both shit. Who cares? Women's MMA fight. I'm going to take a piss during this, or maybe arrive late, or maybe cook me up like a lunch or something. I'm going to stream the fight, like watching it. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch yet, but I think I'll decide then. But I have Veronica Hardy win this fight. Ramirez Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford, amazing fight in his last fight. What a finish. I loved it. I thought it was really cool and really exciting. And I have him winning this fight. Brahimaj is a great striker. I think that Austin Vanderford is going to get the win here by decision. And it's going to be a cool fight. Punali Soriano versus Nikolai Veretennikov. I think Veretennikov is a better striker. I think he will get a TKO in the second. I think Soriano is a great fighter, but I have Nikolai win this fight. Patchy Mix versus Jacob Wiklacz. If you guys know who Jacob Wiklacz is, sorry if I'm butchering the name. He's a regional fighter. He's a champion. Hasn't lost, since 2021. And we all know who Patchy Mix is. Embarrassing loss against Batista. Batista's a good fighter, though. Both of these guys, I guess, are looking for their first win in the UFC. Or one's doing on their debut. I have Jacob Wiklacz winning this fight by decision. I don't think Patchy Mix is a UFC talent, and I think Jacob is. In the women's bantamweight, to end the early prelims, Chiasson versus Yana Santos. Chiasson's been around for a long time, becoming a vet now. She's a very talented fighter. She's pretty good. She puts on some battles. She's cut her opponent, pretty well. She's number 5, going against the number 10. I have Chiasson winning this fight. A lot of women's MMA fights so far, too. Too many. But, if it ain't Zhang Weili, I don't care. If it's not, I care about Shevchenko, actually. And I care about Kayla Harrison. And I care about Jen Jiroba. But other than that, I don't care. But, yeah, that's it. Alright, let's start off with the prelims now. Daniel Santos versus Ju Sang-yu. Ju Sang-yu, what a finish. If you guys don't, Ju Sang-yu got that, 16-second finish in his debut when he went across. It was like slow-mo. Looked really cool. A lot of hype for this guy. I'm on the hype train. I'm not jumping off, but I probably will jump off if he loses this fight. But I don't think he will lose this fight. And I think he will beat Daniel Santos, and you know what? Fuck it. I think I'll knock him out. He fought an amazing fight last time. It wasn't 16 seconds, was it? It's like a minute. It was short, but I couldn't tell you the exact time. But it was a really cool finish. Chris Gutierrez versus Farid Basharat. Chris Gutierrez has been around for a while. Unk might still have it. I know he's not that old, but he's old. To me, he's old. I would like to kind of rush. I don't know why I rush through these. I rush through the early prelims because this is like a fight I care about. And I'm just so fucking tired, bros. You guys have no idea. OBS. Dude, if anyone here is an OBS expert, fuck. Can you guys tell me why my Elgato, my cam link is making my fucking, my camera freeze? Thank you. I really appreciate that. Back onto the fights. Probably Gutierrez, honestly. I think Unk still has it. I think he's going to win the fight. I think he's going to win by decision. I don't think he's going to get finished. But he's going to win. Okay, and the same thing here. Emmett Shahbazyan, Andre Muniz. I think Emmett Shahbazyan is going to win this fight. I think Emmett Shahbazyan. I think he finished Petrosky, if memory serves me right. And the Muniz guy lost to, Alaskarov, which you guys, if you don't remember who Alaskarov was, he's the guy who Robert Whittaker made do the chicken dance. I don't mean to be mean when I say that, by the way, but you kind of did do a fucking chicken dance, bro. Oh, you guys can see my arms. Hold up. I don't know how to explain it. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about. He did a better job than I did, though. I don't do good impressions. But I have fuck, am I sick? I have Emmett Shahbazyan winning this fight. Now this is interesting. So this fight was supposed to be Atiba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz, and Ozzy Diaz dropped out. And I was gonna make this video actually yesterday, but then I saw Ozzy Diaz dropped out, and I wanted to honestly wait the day to see what would happen. But it was already late, so I wasn't gonna make a video anyways. So I'm gonna try to upload this one earlier than usual. Usually I upload like 9 p.m. PST. I'm gonna try to get this out at like, I don't know, 7:30. So depending on how my internet wants to play today when it comes to the uploading, right? But so Atiba Gautier, this phenom in the middleweight division, he's knocking everybody out. He's so brutal, you know. He just knocked out Robert Valentin in his last fight. And I was big on Robert Valentin. And now I'm not. His teammate, who just won tough, is going to probably do well. Let's hope, all right? Tristan Vines from the regional scene. Honestly, I never heard of him before. I'm just being completely honest. Got a call up to be paid $10K, and I get knocked out. Yes, I have Atiba Gautier by like a first round finish, bro. If Tristan Vines, I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of your fights, but I'm gonna go with Atiba. You know, I think he's gonna win the fight. I guess thank you to Tristan Vines. I mean, this happens a lot where a fighter will drop out and then they'll get some guy in the original scene and he'll like sign a 3-fight contract and get in the UFC this way, which is, you know, good for him. He's gonna get knocked out, and then he'll have 2 more fights, and we'll see how he does in these 2 more fights. But Atiba is gonna do well. Good for him for staying on the card. I mean, this won't advance him. You know, I know he's a young guy. He wants to advance in the rankings. He wants to try to push for that top 15 fight. And he's not going to get it after this. Or maybe he will as a reward. But Atiba from Cameroon, knocking out everybody. He's going to knock out this guy. I'm big on him. I think he's a great fighter. And I think he's going to do well in the UFC. And, you know, we'll see how Tristan Vines does. I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll win. I don't think he will, though. All right. Abus Magomedov. Main card. So if you want to spend any bucks, this is what you get. Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer got so project in 24 by Jack Hermanson. I'll never forget it, and it'll never make me think he's ever going to win a fight. Gastelum is ass. Beating Gastelum by decision, I believe, doesn't move me. Gastelum is like a nobody now, bro. He should retire. Abus Magomedov had that win over, oh my god, I'm forgetting the name. I'm going to check the UFC. Pereira. Michel Pereira, yeah. Dude, for the longest time, I thought Michel Pereira was a light heavyweight. I don't know why, or a welterweight. How crazy is that? I always forget what weight he is, because does he jump through? He must be jumping through. But anyways, Abus Magomedov, he's a great fighter. Abus Magomedov is a better fighter than Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer, not that great. Overhyped in my personal opinion. I think a lot of people are hating on him now, so he's kind of properly rated. But I don't like to hate. It's hard to criticize these people without hating on them, in all honesty. And I'm learning how to do that. I mean, I know I don't get that many viewers, but one day I will, and I'll have to like know how to be like professional and cool and nice and like suited up. And maybe I'll lose the hat once I get a sponsorship. Maybe the hat will beat the sponsorship. I think it's the first time I ever referenced the hat in a video. But how cool this hat is. I love this hat. But anyways, it's a good main card opener. I mean, it's open to a finish, you know. And I don't know if we'll get one, in all honesty, but I'm out of water. Fuck. I'm thirsty. I think Boots is gonna win the fight. I don't think he's gonna knock out Joe Pyfer though. I think this fight's going to decision. All right. And Boots is number 14, by the way. So if Joe Pyfer wins this, he gets a ranking. So that's interesting. He gets a second shot at the rankings after beating Gastelum. I respect it. I know Dana really loves him. Wow, wait a minute. So he loses against Jack Hermanson, who, if memory serves me right, was like 11. And then he fights Gastelum, and then he gets another shot at the ranking. Sorry for the cut. My camera froze. But, yeah, Bvs is going to win the fight. Fuck, bro. This Elgato thing's pissing me out. You spent like $100 on a fucking gambling, and it just fucks you like this. It's actually like annoying the shit out of me. Josh Emmett uses Zalal. Let's talk about it. Josh Emmett's winning this fight. Still got it. Josh Emmett is coming off a loss off of Lerone Murphy, which, you know what? Lerone Murphy's a great guy. I thought Lerone was going to win, and he did. And Lerone Murphy's a great fighter. Lerone Murphy's nothing to shout about. Lerone Murphy is miles ahead of Yusuf Zalal. I would be surprised if Josh Emmett lost his fight. I think Josh Emmett, he had a great win over Bryce Mitchell, and he doesn't fight for, like, fucking ever for some reason. In activity. Arman Tsarukyan. Every single time, bro, if I ever see an active fighter, I'm just going to mention Arman Tsarukyan. Because it's absurd. But, yeah, I think Josh Emmett's going to win this fight by decision. Okay. Next fight. Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree. Both coming off wins off of Jamal Hill. Yuri hasn't fought since January, Khalil in June. So Khalil's coming pretty quick. 3 months, 3.5 months-ish, right? I don't know if this makes me an expert. I guess I'm looking at myself because I'm looking at the camera. But I saw Yuri fight Jamal in person. Now, granted, I was at the terrace level of the arena, but I still saw it, and it was cool to watch. I'm just going to flex that every single time. I'm going to flex it again when I talk about Merab. But I was at 311. I thought Yuri fought a great fight at 311. So did Khalil. Khalil, really did piece up Jamal, but I'm really surprised Khalil couldn't get that finish on Jamal. But sometimes a finish isn't really what you need. It's not true, but sometimes, a 5-round domination is more than a finish. Sometimes it isn't, and in this case, it isn't. I think Yuri is going to win this fight. I think styles make fights, and I think Yuri is just more, not more better. It's such a horrible grammatical way to say things. But Yuri is just a better fighter. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But Yuri's going to knock out Khalil Rountree. And I know Khalil was in a Mighty Mouse vlog saying wrestle me. And it's I don't know who thinks he's talking to, but Yuri's not gonna wrestle you, bro. You're gonna get outstruck by Yuri Prochazka, and you're gonna get you're just gonna get beat up, bro. Yuri, what's interesting about Yuri is when he knocked out Jamal, and at least from when I saw it, it was really quick. He just immediately hit a straight. And I almost think that's going to happen to Khalil, almost in the same way. But, Khalil has amazing leg kicks, and, Yuri's going to do kind of mid against that. He didn't really do well against Pereira in that sense. But we'll see how it goes. I think Yuri's a better striker than Khalil, though, overall. Maybe Yuri's going to do some clinch action. We could see that, in all honesty, happen in this fight. But I think Yuri's going to win. I would be surprised if he got the finish, if I'm being honest. But I wouldn't be at the same time. So I guess I'm making my decision and my official prediction. I'm going to say Yuri Prochazka, round 3, TKO. I don't think he, fucking lights him out on the feet. I think he, goes bruh, bruh, and then bruh, bruh, bruh. That's my sound effects. I think he, hammer fists him on the ground, and then a little bit of ground and pound, and then he's off, right? I think they're going to let the fight go. I think if the night gets really boring, the rest are going to let the fight go. And we'll see. Because in all honesty, Bvs and Joe Pyfer and Josh Emmett and Yusuf Zalal could be boring. This is a very top-heavy card, right, when it comes the three fights are the best fights by far. I mean, the Jacko Wiklacz debut was exciting though, right? I'm excited by that. But anyways, I low-key might start cutting more often because that has really helped me like get water and go use the restroom mid video, which is cool to do and fun. But let's talk. Dude, these videos are kind of hard because like you're talking a lot, and, like holy first world problems, but like you get what I'm saying. Dude, wearing this hat in this house is like fucking horrible. I might take it off, but my hair's all fucked up right now because of the hat. But anyways, you know what? I'm gonna cut this out. All right, let's do this. Okay. A co-main event for the UFC bantamweight title. Merab Dvalishvili will defend his bout against Corey Sandhagen. The machine is on a tear. The machine is doing great things. This will be his third defense of the year. Fun fact, I was there when he beat Umar. By the way, fight fans are fucking fickle, bro. When I was at the Umar fight, dude, they were cheering for Umar, and then all of a sudden they cheered for Merab. Maybe it was like a silent majority. Maybe it was a loud minority when Umar was like first coming out. But I don't know. I was always rooting for Merab. I'm a Merab fan, and I think Merab's a great fighter. I'm a fan, by the way. I know I try to be impartial, but I am a fan of a lot of fighters, right? But heart, mind, there's a difference. But Corey has nothing for Merab. Like, just straight up. I do not think Corey Sandhagen is a better striker than Sean O'Malley. And we saw how Merab low-key was putting the hands on Sean. You know, low-key, high-key was putting the hands on Sean O'Malley. You know, piecing him up a bit, took him down, and got the choke on him, right? I know it was a little bit less. I know he was more grapple dominant the first time, but you know what? He got his hand. He got some hands. Merab has some hands. I know Bilal talks about the Canelo hands, but you know what? Merab's got some striking to him. Now, do I think Merab's going to knock out Corey Sandhagen? No fucking way. But do I think Corey Sandhagen's going to walk him like a dog on the feet? No, I do not. I think Corey Sandhagen's all honesty, maybe I'm being rude when I say this, I think Corey Sandhagen is a really overrated fighter. And I think the UFC is going to try to encourage Merab to go up a division. Or go down. Or I don't know what they're going to do with him. Because Merab is going to beat everybody. I mean, we already had a rematch once for the belt. Let's be honest here. Merab's going to win this fight. That's my pick, by the way. Merab by decision. I think Corey's a better grappler than... I don't know. Merab could easily get a finisher. I think it's Merab's by any way he pleases. But granted, that makes no sense because, of course, he's going to want to knock him out. But, well, let me get to that in a minute. Merab's going to beat everybody. And the UFC's going to have this kind of problem where he clears the division. And, you know, because we're going to see him fight Piotr. And then who does he fight after Jan? Bautista? You know, or does the UFC try to push an Umar rematch if Umar beats Bautista? I mean, I could see Bautista beating Umar in all honesty. But that's a topic for a different day. But the point I'm trying to make here is that Merab is good. And you know what? It kind of does pain me to call him the GOAT. Because I love Dominic Cruz. You know, I always like to watch Dominic Cruz's old fights, man. My favorite being I'm like basic when it comes to my Dominic Cruz fights. I like Uriah Faber too. You know, when they first fought for the belt in the UFC. That's my favorite Dominic Cruz fight. Because he really got the hands on him. But I just want to make sure I'm in focus. I'm sorry. That's why I'm looking. Because I want to maybe I should scoot my chair back. But you know, Merab's the GOAT. Merab's the GOAT of the bantamweight division. And, you know, I gotta accept that. And I'm not a Merab hater. I love Merab. But it just pains me to put down Dominic Cruz. But I don't mean to put down Dominic Cruz at all. Dominic Cruz is a legend. Dominic Cruz is amazing. You know, Dominic Cruz could have been a lot better than he actually was given the injuries. I feel like that you kind of have to mention that every single time we talk about Dominic Cruz. But, I mean, I love Dominic Cruz, man. He's awesome. But Merab's the GOAT. And let me talk about Merab more. Merab is doing great things. Merab will continue to do great things. I think Merab just maybe finishes him by TKO with the ground and pound, or he gets a submission, or maybe Corey does a good enough job to survive the 25 minutes, in all honesty. If Corey can survive it, then he'll lose by decision at least, and he won't get finished. But Corey's not going to be doing that crazy shit. And I know people talk about the Figgy fight. First off, dude, Figgy's kind of like a fucking idiot. Like, I don't mean to, on the ground at least, right? I mean, Figgy getting beat like that has been the most embarrassing shit. That's not a Corey Sandhagen masterclass grappling moment. And I'll be honest, that's Figgy being stupid, right? Figgy also coming off a loss, Petr Yan, right? Which, by the way, doesn't make sense to me. I mean, Figgy loses to Yan. Figgy then loses to Corey. Corey gets the shot over. I guess it was a timetable thing, and then Marcus McGee got in there somehow. I think it was a timetable thing, and maybe because, Merab's already fought Yan and he beat him so badly. But it just seems weird that Corey has the shot before Yan. But I could see why. It doesn't feel that weird, actually. But it's iffy. But anyways, dude, fucking Corey Sandhagen is not a fucking master grappler, bro. Like, it's over. It's over. Merab's gonna take him down. He's gonna shoot so many takedowns. He's gonna win the fucking fight. I know it's almost cliche at this point to mention Merab's gas tank because you have to talk about it. But at the same time, it's like, let's talk about, he fights so often that every single time you mention him, and you have to mention him a lot, you have to talk about his gas tank. And he's not going to get tired. I don't think Corey can tire him out. I think the opposite is going to happen. I think Merab's going to tire out Corey. And, I mean, of course, we'll wait and see. But, dude, Merab's going to win the fight. Merab's going to win by decision. End of story. Good for him. In fact, after this video, I'm going to watch the Demetrius Johnson podcast with him. Don't click off this video yet. Let me watch the next fight. Let me do the last fight. Okay. Last fight of the night, of the day, of the morning, wherever you are. If you're in China, it's like something o'clock over there at that point. If you're in the UK, it's like, I don't know, 6 a.m. probably. My math is right. Maybe 5. Magomedov Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. Which is very exciting. I'm going to talk about this fight. I watched this fight like 3 fucking times. Like, rewatched it 3 times, so 4 times total, if you include the first night. But, before I say my take, I just want to say this. When it comes to rematches in recent memory, O'Malley, Merab, or title rematches, Strickland, Duplessis. If you don't change your game plan, you're gonna lose the fight as the person who lost the fight, which I guess in both cases was the challenger, and in this case is the champion, right? Former champion. And actually no, Sean O'Malley lost the belt too. Never mind. Tripping. But essentially, and wait, never mind. No, all 3 of them were the former champions. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a big mistake I made there. Hoping no one writes that down in the comments before they hear the rest. But I want to articulate this properly. Magomed Ankalaev. In fact, time out. I'm gonna cut here. Jay, don't forget to cut here. I'm gonna breathe. I'm drinking some water. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit. Okay. We're back. Sorry, I just need to take a breather. Magomed Ankalaev won the first fight because he doesn't give a shit. And what I mean by that is Magomed just went in there and was advancing the whole entire fight. Alex Pereira, when we talk about Alex Pereira, nice. How cool was that one? Hold up. Nice. Excuse me. But, Magomed Ankalaev didn't care about the leg kick. I mean, he kind of, I mean, you hear the broadcast, and like, they're like, oh, he's getting leg kicked, he's gonna die. But in all honesty, every single time Pereira went for a fucking leg kick, or almost every single time, right? Like 80% of the time, Ankalaev would respond with a quick straight, a quick 1-2. And he would sometimes extend a head kick at the end, you know? Magomed's best moments came from countering or predicting or responding to a calf kick from Perira. And then he had his like clinch, amazing clinch work. Alex Pereira can't fuck with the clinch work. I mean, I know it says like Alex Pereira had perfect takedown defense, but Magomed was in control against the cage. That won him those rounds, like 4 and like 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. And I guess Alex Pereira had that one little like slip at the end where he kind of got Magomed down. I don't know if that was because it was the end of the round or maybe that's how Pereira will win. But like for instance, Pereira was going for a leg kick across the body, a calf kick across instead of from the outside because they were both in the same. They're both in opposite stances. Yeah, they're both in opposite stances. And when you're in opposite stance, you're going for a calf kick. You kind of like to go for the outside, right? The battle of the feet, you know. And Alex went across, which he shouldn't have done, and that's when he got caught with that fucking straight, and he got rocked. And because Alex, when he beat Yuri, when he beat Khalil, when he beat Jamal, you know, he was always like the dominant fighter in the sense that he was always moving forward, and he was always controlling the pace and the distance. Magomed controlled the distance, and Alex Pereira's best moments were when, you know, Magomed wasn't in control of the distance and Pereira was. And I guess Magomed just was running the floor most of the time. I wouldn't call it a total domination. I had it 4-1, but those rounds were close, but it was a clear Magomed winner. But, you know, he did do really well. Magomed did really well. So you ask, so when you talk about a rematch, you think like, well, how can they do better to win the fight? So I guess let's talk about Magomed, you know, because it's kind of easier to talk about him because he won the fight. Honestly, Magomed's moments were when he wasn't doing what he was doing to win. When he was winning, he was advancing, and when he wasn't advancing, he was losing. You know, and Alex, you know, got that head kick on him a lot. So I guess Magomed, you know, what he can do better is, I would feint the teep kick more to try to get Alex's hands down, to maybe land some sort of head kick or straight or jab or just maybe a jab straight into a head kick thing because he did that a lot. Because Alex fears the teep kick, in all honesty, and I guess I gotta get into that when I talk about Alex. But if you notice, there's a moment where Magomed like. I guess you can't really see my full body, but Magomed like raised the knee, and Alex like flinched and went hands down to try to defend it, and then Magomed didn't do anything with it. Maybe he was tired at that point. Maybe he was still like kind of dazed by a shot previously in the round. But if Magomed can start feinting that teep kick more, it will open up more things to him. And of course, he has to throw some real ones in there to do some damage. But if you get Alex flinching and you get Alex biting, you know, he will probably get a finish. But I don't know if he's gonna get a finish. I think let's talk about Alex here for a minute. So that's what Magomed has to do to be better. What Alex has to do to be better is a lot more. First off, Alex gotta learn how to, because he lost the round just because of being against the cage. Like he lost round 4 because of the cage work of Ankalaev. So you know, do a better job finding the hands. You know, try to do some more body damage with your own knee. Get risky, bro. In all honesty, like you're not gonna win being against the cage. I know Mark Goddard like separated them. I don't know if Herb Dean will. Maybe Herb Dean will as much. But if you're Alex, I think you kind of have to do some risky shit. You know, to like try to put yourself in a better position when you get to that point. And so hopefully he does that. For his sake, well, I guess I'll give my personal opinion on, you know, who I want to win after, but yeah, and I think that's what's really gonna help Alex. I think Alex needs to do what Ankalaev did to him, or rather think like Ankalaev, in the sense of not giving a shit. In all honesty, I think people overlook Ankalaev's kicks, like his leg kicks. Because he was kind of getting at Alex's legs, too. I know we always talk about Pereira, and of course we do. It's not like I'm saying, oh, Pereira's not that good at kicking. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that Ankalaev has a pretty good leg kick of his own. And that probably did, not probably, it did kind of sway the fight in his favor, and did open up more things for him. And maybe that was what got Pereira moving back. Although, in my personal opinion, I think Pereira got moved back because Ankalaev just kept hitting with the 1-2 whenever he would go for a calf kick, and he always would land it. Whenever Pereira would go for a calf kick. Like, I know we always talk about. So I just picked my face in the middle of a video. That's nice. I know we talk about Pereira hiding the kick. Maybe Magomedov Ankalaev has like a wide-angle lens in his eye or something, because he was able to telegraph whenever Pereira would throw a calf kick, like we've never seen before from a Pereira opponent, which I thought was just crazy cool. I don't think people give him enough credit for that. Like, he countered so many of the calf kicks. It was pretty good. But of course, Alex is so good at the calf kick. A few did get through, and I think so. That's what Alex has to do. We already gone over what Magomedov has to do. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're about to see the exact same fight. I don't know what, we talked about what Pereira can do. I don't think Pereira's going to do what I said he's going to do. I don't think Pereira's going to adjust. And I think Pereira's just going to hope he lands a lucky left hook, in all honesty. I think Magomedov Ankalaev is a better striker than Pereira. Of course, Pereira has more knockout power, but Magomedov is much more technical. And when you throw in, not the greatest ground game, in all honesty. Like, everyone says, oh, Magomedov's a grappler because he's a Dagestani. But in all honesty, Magomedov has an average grappling pedigree, and maybe a little bit above average, while Alex has a major below average pedigree. And so it looks like Ankalaev is like some grapple god, but he's not, But Ankalaev is a much more technical and better striker than Pereira. And I know we talk about he's not knocking anybody out, or, Pereira knocks all these people. Like, it's kind of like Leon Edwards, in the sense of they're both amazing technical fighters, but they're not going to get the finish. Which, sucks. And then when they do get the finish, it's like a crazy cool moment. Like when he finished, he finished Walker, and when, of course, Leon Edwards finished Usman. But I do think Magomedov Ankalaev will retain his belt and win the championship and defend his title. And I don't know what you do with Alex after. Maybe you book him against. I think Olber's gonna get the shot next. Maybe you book him against the winner of Khalil Yeri. Be shocked if Alex moved up, but he ran away from middle. Let's be honest here. He kind of ran away from middleweight after losing to Izzy. Just like 3 months after the Izzy fight, he's fighting at light heavyweight. But let's talk about the heart and the mind for a minute, because this is another one of those heart and mind fights. Magomed winning is really bad for the UFC because he has no star power. Now, I'm not going to be able to live stream this Saturday, the press conference, because I have something to do at that time. But there was a moment earlier last week, if you guys missed it, where Pereira and Ankalaev got like in a little Google Translate argument, which is like the funniest video ever. And at the end, Alex is like, Shama. Just kind of trying to ego Ankalaev and do his catchphrase. And Magomed did this, no Shama. He went like, no Shama. Let me do it again on the camera. No Shama. October 4th, I'll see you. And honestly, that was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen Ankalaev do. If not the coolest thing. Because Ankalaev isn't a man of many emotions, and, but neither is Pereira. But, Pereira's cool like that, right? I know water, I'm going to die here, bro. Okay, I'm going to pass out. But, essentially, Magomed, while we know he doesn't tweet for himself, we know it's Ali, right? If he could do something this Thursday at the presser and try to, impress the fans, get on that mic and, say some crazy shit, right? Or maybe learn some English, it will soften the blow a bit. But there is nobody like an Alex Pereira, because he's so perfect on the mic, and he just knocks people out. And he has this glaring hole in his game that's not built to last long in the UFC. Someone already happened, but Magomed caught him. Magomed not caught him because that's like for a knockout, but Magomed closed the door. And you want to say let's always have the best fighters win, or may the best man win is how the saying goes. And then there's the excuse I wasn't the best man that night. Like I know I was talking about the injuries, which is bullshit in my opinion. I don't believe in that. When you step in the cage, you're essentially agreeing to fight. And if you were really injured, maybe you shouldn't have stepped in the cage. And I know I'm hypocritical because I'm an Aljo fan, but yeah, I'm a hypocrite. But dude, I wish Aljo never took that fight. And you know what? Maybe Pereira fans, including myself in all honesty, wish that Pereira backed out of the fight. I know he's known to step in at early notice, but you know what? Maybe a little bit of hubris. Maybe he thought he was, so perfect, and Ankalaev was so shit that he could fight injured. And in all honesty, maybe that's what that was, or maybe he's kind of fucking lying. Maybe he's kind of embellishing the injury a little bit to kind of soften the blow. We see that a lot from fighters, when after they lose a fight. And so we'll see what happens with that. And I guess, given that Ankalaev's going to win, because let's be honest here, you guys, he's going to win. Would it be as bad if he was good on the mic? I think a lot of people want Ankalaev to lose simply because he isn't as entertaining as a Perira. But honestly, Ankalaev is one of the most fun strikers to watch. Maybe not from the casual fan base. I hate using that word casual because it's like, oh, you have to be a genius to watch this. I don't like that. But in all honesty, Ankalaev has a very technical style, a Leon Edwards-esque, but maybe a little worse because, lighter man skill. But, I think if Ankalaev starts saying some crazy shit at the presser, Ankalaev time, I know we did that last time, like, those things really do soften the blow of Pereira not being the champion and Pereira not being the superstar, right? Because let's be honest here, his popularity, I think, has gone down a lot ever since losing the belt, And, he's doing a lot of social media collaborations. Post videos of him going to haunted houses this week, which is okay. And he's always been like that, and he was like that a lot during his week against Ankalaev, and he lost. And, I don't know, I don't have a camera on him 24/7. I'm sure he's practicing. But it isn't a good look for Pereira to be kind of goofing around and then losing fights. It isn't a good look for anybody. I know he does a lot of collaborations with some UFC media, like Nina Drama. Some videos. Those take time. But granted, they're fight week usually, or like up. But, I don't know. But that's his personal choice. And I don't know what goes on 24/7 in his life. Maybe he's practicing, maybe he wakes up early. Maybe he has long days. Maybe he goes to bed for 8 hours and that's it. And he's got 16 hours to do whatever he wants. And he only sees Nina and does social media stuff for like 3 hours, A lot of time in a day. 24 hours in a day, it's a long time. But Ankalaev, is on that shit. But, listen, I know he doesn't speak English. But, like, Ali should just give Ankalaev the phone. I know it caused this kind of beef, but I feel like it would be so much better if Ankalaev was saying shit. Because in all honesty, I think Ankalaev has some attitude towards him, which is a really cool thing that I don't think a lot of people recognize. Like, I know it's not him tweeting, because his English is not that good. But, I really do think that yeah, this is like getting kind of bad. Sorry I crashed again. Sorry for the cut. But back to what I was saying. Ankalaev, he could have some good fire in him. I would like to see him be a little more fire on the mic, I don't say the word fire a lot. I don't know why I'm saying the word fire a lot. Be a little more aggressive. And we'll see. But we're gonna low key be coping. Is it kind of a cope to say, oh, maybe Ankalaev is gonna be like a superstar, or maybe he's gonna like be good on the mic. He's not. But he could be. It's good to be hopeful. I mean, it's just words, right? Anyone can speak words. Anyone can say anything. You know, we all know how to speak, right? So he's got that. Everyone has the potential to be a superstar on the mic. It just depends on if you want to put the work in. So we'll see. But you know what? I'm a big fan of the no Shama. That's tough. I'm a big fan of the Ankalaev time, the big Ank. You know, that's tough. That's tough. It's cool. It's cool, guys. I think it's cool. You know, I think he's trying. You know, I mean, Shama is just such a cool phrase. I like Shama. Here's my opinion. Right? Look, check it out. Shama, right? You know, Pereira waved to me, or gave me a head nod. Pereira gave me a head nod. I was walking up the street outside of 311, and he was driving his car, and he gave me like a cool head nod. I think it was me. I want to say it was me. We're gonna go with me. It was me, right? He was definitely waving at me. There were no women around, so you know, it's probably me. Because it was on the corner of like the street outside of the Intuit, right, and a couple blocks down. And everyone like swarmed his car, by the way, which is crazy. I didn't, because I'm not like low key like a fanboy like that for anybody, except for me. Look in the mirror and be like, oh, Jake. I don't do that though, but I might start doing that. Maybe when I get like 1,000 subscribers, I'll start doing that, or maybe 1 million. But you know, it's a long time from now. But we'll see. But yeah, I have Ankalaev winning the fight. If Ankalaev could be a mic god, I wouldn't mind him being champ. If he could up the promo a bit, I wouldn't mind him being champ. But I do not want Ankalaev. I don't want the Ankalaev who doesn't say anything for 6 months, and like really doesn't say anything. Not Ali tweeting. You know, like make a video, bro. Like talk some shit. You know. I think Ali should give Ankalaev the phone. You know, and who cares if it's in broken English, bro? It's so much cooler when we know it's from him. You know, and like same thing with Umar. And this is gonna be like a horrible video, like the outro. So yeah, Magomedov wins the fight. I'm sorry, guys. My camera died. OBS is fucking with me. I'm praying I can get a fix on this. You know, if you guys are in the comments and can tell me why I'm using a cam link on like a DSLR camera to like an HDMI cord. Someone could tell me why it's freezing up on OBS. I really appreciate it. But you know what the music means. We're out. See you next time, guys. Enjoy the fights.